From LEX 18, your official UK sports station for Big Blue Nation, this is BBN Tonight. Presented by Central Bank, the official bank of UK Athletics.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another edition of BBN Tonight. I'm Eli Gain, in for Keith Farmer this evening.
And I'm Mary Jo Perino. Tonight, we're going to recap an emotional win for the Cats at Kroger Field this weekend.
And later, interviews with UK offensive lineman Landon Young and new women's basketball head coach Kyra Elzy. Well, of course, it was a day of tribute on Saturday at Kroger Field. Our complete coverage of UK Vandy is tonight's Big Blue story, presented by Baptist Health. The honors began before the game even got underway. Before the first play of the game, Kentucky took an intentional delay of game, waiting to bring in Landon Young to complete the Big Blue Wall, with him wearing the number 65 in honor of the late John Schlarman. Young went on to play a game that earned him SEC Offensive Lineman of the Week honors, Mary Jo, and I got to say, this was a touching gesture that the Wildcats did. It was recognized nationwide. Everyone thought this was just a great thing for them to do. I don't see how they could have done this any better to honor Schlarman.
It gave me chills, and they'd worked it out with Vandy beforehand, so Vandy knew to decline that penalty. And no one better than Landon Young to have worn that number 65. You're going to hear from him coming up a little bit later, but just an incredible performance by the Big Blue Wall, and just what a way to honor that great coach. The UK offense didn't waste any time either, Eli, coming out of its shell. Quarterback Terry Wilson back under center, and he looks solid from the start. He hits a laser over the middle to Justin Riggs for the touchdown. That put the Cats up 7-zip early. On the next possession, Wilson goes 32 yards down the sideline for another score. He looks really comfortable, Eli. I think he was glad to be back in the driver's seat in that position. I really felt good for Terry after this one.
Yeah, very pure. I mean, everything that he did was spot on. The way that he was able to complete the ball down the field, and then obviously showing off the wheels to really get that Cats offense going. Okay, later in the first half, Vanderbilt and Kentucky would trade some scores, ending with a chance-poor field goal that put the Cats up 24-14 and at halftime. And Mary Jo, you're kind of thinking, like, what's going on here? This should be like a 35-0 outcome at the moment.
And it should have been. I mean, let's be honest. It should have been. Mark Stoops was not happy with his defense. No. Let's be honest. He was very upset with them. He looked like he was going to wring some necks at halftime. I don't know how much good it did, but let's talk about the positives. In the second half, it was all C-Rod, baby. Chris Rodriguez continued his assault on the ground, scoring 2 times, including one run for 74 yards. Who says he's not fast? He finished with a career-high 149, joined the 1,000-yard rushing club. And oh, by the way, he's just a sophomore. The Big Blue Wall paved the way for 308 total yards rushing, and Vandy had 0 quarterback sacks. Vandy did get some garbage touchdowns to make it interesting, but Kentucky wins 38-35. Here's Landon Young and Mark Stoops.
You know, we wanted to make sure that we did what he wanted us to do every single day, and I know he's sitting down up there watching us right now, and you know, having the mentality and the grit that he had, he would not want us to sit down and feel sorry for ourselves for 1 second.
But the bottom, line is to honor John by playing the way he, coached, the way he lived his life. And, we constantly talked about the tenacity that he had, the toughness that he had. But also when he was a player, he was extremely technical and very detailed. And so we knew we would be emotional, but I also really wanted to execute. And really, I felt like offensively we really played pretty sharp.
The tributes continued. Schlarman this afternoon when UK held a celebration of life for him at Kroger Field. Just a wonderful way to remember him.
Absolutely, and here are some other game notes from the game. Hometown freshman QB Bo Allen finally got to take some game snaps on Saturday. He completed 3 of 5 passes for 40 yards. Mark Stoops, he stepped into the record books, passing UK legend Bear Bryant to earn the most home wins with 34. And besides Landon Young. 3 other Cats earned SEC honors. Jamin Davis is Defensive Player of the Week. Kicker Chance Poore is Special Teams Player of the Week, and J.J. Weaver is the Freshman of the Week. Also, some familiar faces, linebacker DeAndre Square and lineman Luke Fortner saw limited action. Guard Kenneth Horsey did not play at all, nor did punter Max Duffy or kicker Matt Ruffalo.
So up next for Kentucky, Eli, barring any delays from COVID, is Alabama. Alabama opens up as about a 30-point favorite. They will be coming off an unscheduled bye weekend because the coronavirus. Already one game postponed for this upcoming weekend because of COVID. So let's hope that we can get that one off without a hitch.
Absolutely. And of course, we cannot end this segment without talking about today's bombshell from the NCAA. So the organization says that because of the pandemic, the entire 2021 NCAA basketball tournament will be held in one geographical location instead of the 13 preliminary round sites across the country. Now, that location is likely to be Indianapolis. So, MJ, I'm kind of all over the place on this one, but I think they can make it work. There's numerous sites there to get some things done. And what do you think? Do you think it can get done?
You got to have an NCAA tournament, and if a bubble's the way to do it, then let's do it.
All right, absolutely. Coming up next on BBN Tonight, we're going to hear more from Landon Young.
Yeah, Keith Farmer's going to go one-on-one with him after an emotional victory this weekend.